Imagine paying for your groceries with silver, or tapping your debit card and watching a sliver of your gold holdings convert to dollars at the register. Sounds like something from an old western or maybe from the future? In Texas, it's both. Following the actions of Governor DeSantis in Florida, Governor Greg Abbott recently signed a bill into law that will make gold and silver legal tender in the state starting in 2027. According to the new policy, Texans will be able to deposit physical gold or silver into a state-managed account and spend it through a debit card that automatically converts those metals into US dollars at the point of sale. Now let's be clear, this is not about nostalgia. Texas isn't handing out doubloons or resurrecting pirate-era treasure chests. This move reflects something deeper, a growing mistrust in fiat currency and a desire to anchor financial value to something real, something scarce, something that can't be printed with the push of a button. That's exactly why so many people are turning to physical gold and silver, and it's why Goldco makes it easy to open a self-directed precious metals IRA backed by real assets, not paper promises. You can even get 10% back in free silver on qualified accounts. So why is Texas doing this now? It comes down to a few big factors, most of which are frankly hard to ignore. First, let's talk performance. Since the year 2000, the price of gold has climbed from just $272 per ounce to over $3,500 per ounce today. That's a staggering 1,185% increase in just 25 years, or an annualized gain of 47%. Silver up 620% over that same stretch, which breaks down to an annual gain of about 24.8%. Gold and silver have a few thousand years of rich history as real money. They were used as currencies in ancient Rome, they underpinned global trade in the 19th century, and they formed the backbone of the gold standard until it was dismantled in the 1970s. Now, why was the gold standard scrapped? Because governments wanted more flexibility to print money, especially when war, recession, or, overspending came knocking. Problem is, you can't print more gold. So when debt ballooned and deficits mounted, the gold peg had to go. Since then, the U.S. has racked up record deficits and trillions in debt, while the dollar's purchasing power has steadily eroded. Sound familiar? Now in 2025, the Fed's printing press is still warm from recent runs. A $3.3 trillion tax cut and spending package was just passed, and the national debt is rising like a tech stock in 1999. Inflation may cool slightly on the surface, but the underlying issue remains too much money chasing too few real goods. And when that happens, people look for places to store their value. Hard, tangible places that don't evaporate when interest rates swing. That's why gold and silver are surging. In fact, gold prices recently hit an all-time high, and central banks have been gobbling up bullion like it's going out of style. This is not just individual investors playing safe, it's governments trying to hedge their own bets against the currencies they issue. But places like Florida and Texas are taking it a step further. They're making it usable. This is not just about stashing metal in a vault or speculating on futures. It's about enabling everyday transactions in a system backed by hard money. And if more states follow suit, which the article suggests is a real possibility, it could massively increase demand for both gold and silver. This is where a precious metals IRA comes in. It allows you to hold real gold and silver with a tax-advantaged retirement account, no guessing games, no speculative bets, just real assets with a track record stretching back thousands of years. And with Goldco, qualified accounts can get 10% back in free silver. Now, some may say that using gold and silver for everyday purchases is just symbolic at best, but remember, every trend starts somewhere. When you look at the growing momentum behind sound money, it's hard not to see this as the beginning of a shift, not just in how we store value, but in how we use it. Bottom line, gold and silver are not just shiny collectibles. They're becoming relevant again in ways that matter. Whether Florida and Texas are just pioneers or one-offs remains to be seen, but if history is any guide, hard money has a funny way of coming back into style right when people need it the most. And in this economy, that time might be now.